Hello and welcome to Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada.
Some Toronto parking fines have increased by up to 150% as of today.
Worker dies after falling from East York home. Male youth seriously injured in stabbing in Scarborough. Video shows kangaroo on the loose in Oshawa.
Tunnel contract for Yonge North subway extension expected to be awarded by end of 2024, province says. 18-year-old charged after driving 191 km per hour on Highway 400. OPP investigating assault at Aurelia long-term care home that left resident 88 dead. Flu season has officially started in Canada, Public Health Agency says.
These were the headlines and now let's jump right into the details.
A resident at a long-term care facility in Aurelia has died following an alleged assault. Last month, Ontario Provincial Police said officers from the OPP Aurelia detachment were called to the unidentified facility on November 13 to investigate reports of an assault involving two residents. Police said an 88-year-old man was taken into hospital with serious injuries. On November 24th, the man died as a result of injuries he sustained. Police said on Friday the victim was identified as Kevin Elms. Police said a homicide investigation has been launched into Elms' death. They did not indicate if an arrest had been made in the incident, but noted that there is no concern for public safety.
A male youth has been taken to hospital following a stabbing in Scarborough Friday afternoon. Toronto police say it happened in the area of Brackley Drive and Lawrence Avenue East, just east of Midland Avenue, before 4:15 p.m. When officers arrived, they located a youth suffering from a stab wound. His injuries are serious but not life-threatening, Toronto paramedics say. A male suspect with shoulder-length black wavy hair is being sought, police say. He was last seen wearing a light blue jacket, black pants, and black shoes. A kangaroo destined for Quebec escaped during an overnight stay at a zoo east of Toronto Friday morning. The marsupial first garnered widespread attention when a community-run pet group Team Chelsea shared a video of it hopping alongside Winchester Road in Oshawa, Ontario just after 7:45 a.m. Durham Regional Police Service DRPS said the kangaroo spotting was reported to them at approximately 7:40 a.m. Responding officers were unable to locate the animal and cleared the scene, they said. On Friday afternoon, the kangaroo was found at a secondary location on Winchester Road. An Oshawa Zoo employee at the scene explained that the kangaroo was in the process of being transferred when it jumped over handlers' heads and out of the truck it was being transported in. This is not our kangaroo, Cameron Prade with the Oshawa Zoo told Awaz News on Friday. We were just supposed to be a stopover like a hotel room on its way to Quebec. Prade said Ontario's Ministry of Natural Resources has been notified that they are waiting for staff to come tranquilize the animal. Because I am just a dude with a net and it's a little faster than me, he continued. Prade, who has worked at the Oshawa Zoo for approximately 3 decades, said he's never experienced anything like this before. Normally, we have got very good control over the animals, he said. This is just a one-off incident that really sucks. The Oshawa Zoo has been working with the Team Chelsea Friday to recollect the animal. If spotted, residents are being urged not to approach the kangaroo but call the Team Chelsea at 905-666-4676. According to the group, at least 30 sightings have been reported since sharing the video.
An 18-year-old has been charged with stunt driving after being clocked traveling 191 km per hour with his younger sisters in the car, according to Ontario Provincial Police. According to OPP Sergeant Kerry Smith, the driver said he had received bad news just before being pulled over to the area of Highway 400 and Finch Avenue. In a tweet, Schmidt said that in addition to stunt driving, the driver has received a 30-day license suspension and his vehicle has been impounded for 14 days. This incident follows a similar stunt driving case early this week when a 26-year-old driver was clocked traveling nearly 100 kilometers over the speed limit in Brampton. He allegedly told police he needed to use the bathroom and had his license suspended for 30 days and his car impounded for 2 weeks. GTA police forces have been cracking down on stunt driving in recent months, with York Regional Police reporting 650 charges so far in 2023 as of September 1st. Project Erase, made up of task forces across the GTA, has resulted in over 4,000 stunt driving charges in Peel region since 2018.
A man is dead after he fell approximately 2 stories while working on an East York home on Friday morning, police say. It happened just after 9 a.m. at a residence near Yardley and Glenburn Avenues, which is in the vicinity of St. Clair and Victoria Park Avenues. The circumstances surrounding the incidents are not immediately clear. Police say that the Ministry of Labour has been notified and will be conducting a full investigation.
A planned extension of the Yonge subway line into York region is moving ahead with a request for proposals (RFP) to design and build the tunnels, the Ontario government said Friday. The Yonge North subway extension is a long-promised project which will see the TTC's Line 1 subway extended 8 kilometers past Finch and up into Thornhill and Richmond Hill. The project was talked about for years but wasn't funded. Critics had also pointed out that the previously overcrowded subway would not be able to cope it was extended, but that issue is expected to be dealt with through the estimated completion of the Ontario line in 2031 to take pressure off Line 1. The Ford government identified the Yonge extension as one of the 4 priority subway projects for the Greater Toronto Area back in 2021, along with the Ontario line, the Scarborough subway extension, and the Eglinton Crosstown West extension. The RFP release is the next critical step into our government's plan to extend subway service north from Finch Station to communities in Markham, Vaughan and Richmond Hill for the first time ever, Minister of Transportation Prabmeet Sarkaria said. As York region grows, we are building the Yonge North subway extension to ensure our transit infrastructure keeps up while providing people with access to better, more reliable public transit. The RFP process will select one of the 3 groups previously identified through the request for qualifications process early this year. They include Cross Transit Group, North End Connectors, and Toronto York Tunnel Connectors. The contract of the tunnel work is expected to be awarded late next year. When complete, the extension will add 5 stations to the Yonge line with stops at Steeles Avenue, Clark Street, Royal Orchard Boulevard, a transit hub between Highway 407 and Highway 7 Richmond Hill Centre, where it will offer connection with the Langstaff GO station. The province also said Friday that upgrade work, which began at Finch Station to prepare for eventual subway construction, is nearly complete. The announcement comes as Metrolinx continues to face questions over the endlessly delayed completion of the Eglinton Crosstown Light Rail line. CEO Phil Wurster said 2 months ago that the Provincial Transit Agency has a pretty good idea about when the line will open, but not an estimate that they are confident enough to share publicly. A target completion date for the Yonge North extension has not yet been unveiled. However, the province has previously estimated all 4 of its priority subway projects will be complete by 2041. An 8.6-kilometer extension of Line 1 into Vaughan opened in 2017, marking the first time the subway expanded beyond Toronto's boundaries. The fines for drivers caught illegally parking on municipal and private property have increased today. Those parking or leaving their vehicle on private property without consent will be fined $75, more than double the previous penalty amount of $30. The same fine applies to vehicles illegally parked on city property. City Council approved the increase during its meeting in October. The new amount is now in line with the fine for parking violations within Green P car parks. Last September, Councillor Paul Ensley, who chairs the General Government Committee and sits on the board of directors at Exhibition Place, told Awaz News, parking costs $45 during special events like the Honda Indy and Caribbean Carnival. That would be cheaper than the fine. If you are not paying for the $45 fee to go to an event, you should be appropriately penalized, which is why we raised it to $75, Ensley said. City staff echoed the councillor's sentiments in their report, saying that many drivers prefer taking their chances with incurring a parking violation notice or, if lucky, avoiding a parking violation notice altogether rather than paying. The reason why drivers risk being issued a parking violation notice is because most times the penalty amount is less than what they would be required to pay for parking, staff said, adding that the increase was intended to encourage compliance. flu season has officially begun in Canada, the federal public health agency said on Friday. At the national level, influenza activity has crossed the seasonal threshold, indicating the start of influenza season, the Public Health Agency of Canada said in its weekly Flu Watch report posted online. The rate of tests that were positive for flu stayed above 5% for 2 consecutive weeks. As of November 25th, 7.5% of people tested for influenza across Canada were positive. The number of cases is climbing, said Dr. Alison McGeer, an infectious diseases specialist at Mount Sinai Hospital in Toronto. If you plan to get a flu vaccine, now is a really good time to do it, she said in an interview. The flu season starting now tells you that there's going to be a lot of flu at the end of the December and beginning of January, McGeer said, noting the flu shot takes about 2 weeks to prime people's immune systems. That's when you want to be out with your friends and doing a bunch of things, and flu is capable of making that time quite miserable. Not all provinces and territories are reporting a 5% positivity rate yet. For example, Public Health Ontario's latest flu surveillance report said the rate was 2.8% as of November 25th in that province. But Ontario and other provinces will soon catch up and those rates will increase, McGeer said. The dominant strain now will be influenza A type H1N1, which is a good match for the current vaccine, she said. Many adults have some level of resistance to H1N1 flu strain, so it tends to cause a lot of disease in kids, especially unvaccinated kids, McGeer said. She added that emergency departments and pediatrics take more of the pressure during H1N1 dominant flu seasons. Although McGeer said it's important for people to get their flu vaccines, she's even more concerned about the levels of COVID-19 that are circulating this year. Friday's surveillance report from Public Health Ontario showed a test positivity rate of 20% of COVID-19 in that province. In addition to test positivity, wastewater surveillance and hospitalizations show climbing COVID-19 cases in Canada, McGeer said. Just because we have stopped talking about people being hospitalized with COVID does not mean that people aren't being hospitalized with COVID, she said. At the rate we are going, there will be more people hospitalized with COVID and more people dying from COVID this year than last year, McGeer said, noting that a low uptake of the new COVID XBB variant vaccine is worrisome.
These were the headlines, and now let's jump right into the details.